Could it be? Your mate, Louie T. Welcome to the AFC East prediction and preview live react video. I've given you my picks, as you can see at the top of the screen, and my record and prediction for each team in the AFC East already in a separate video. Now, it's up to you guys to tell me what you think about this division. What do you anticipate happening? Where did I get it wrong? And what do you see going down in the AFC East in 2019? I find this to be a fascinating division. I think it's still the worst division in football currently right now, but I think that's subject to change. I think this is going to be a really competitive division in 2019, and it wouldn't shock me if the Jets nor the Bills jumped up. I don't think the Dolphins have any shot of being good this season. However, I wouldn't shock me if the Bills or the Jets wound up winning 9 games and was knocking on the door of a postseason berth late in the season. That wouldn't shock me one bit. But I just don't see either one of those teams making it to the postseason or unseating the New England Patriots in the AFC East. So I will open up the phone lines here in a second. I want to set up Twitter and get that ready to roll, so you guys will have me, my eyes and ears there as well. Remember, hit me up. Use the hashtag LouieTLive on YouTube, and I'll open up YouTube as well. I'll open up YouTube so I can see your comments, read those as well, in addition to getting to your Twitter comments. Hashtag LouieTLive if you want your comment read on the air. And so
we've had flood insurance ever.
All right. So here we go. Here's the number to dial in. Twitter is available. Let the fun begin. So you guys have the floor. You know how I feel about this division already. I'll start reading some comments. I'll wait till we get the phone lines going. Twitter and everything, I'll be checking that on a consistent basis as well to see if we get anything there. But in the meantime, Believers Talk says, I have a lot to say about this right now. Can't wait. Phone lines are definitely open. Ghazi Gang TV says, who do you think will be the best division if not the will be the best in the division if not the Pats? All right, so we got our first phone call. I'm going to go ahead and take that. You're on live with your man Louie T. Who am I speaking with?
This is Joe from Believers Talk.
Hey, what's going on, Joey Sharp? What's going on?
Shut up. Not much, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing really well.
Good.
Glad to hear from you.
So before I get into anything, I want to take this opportunity. I know I've done it privately a couple times, but I want to take this opportunity to thank you for all you've done for me.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, you're the first channel I ever subscribed to. I've been following you. We go back, and I just appreciate all you've done. So
hey, no doubt, man.
I want to get that out of the way before I bash you completely with your prediction.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. No doubt.
No
Anytime.
No problem. All right. So, and I'm trying not to be a homer here, but as a Redskins fan, you can understand being a homer is just what we do.
Yes.
So I think that the Bills will not just knock on the playoff door. I think either us or the Jets are going to knock the door down. Now, I'll even give the Jets their credit too, just because both those defenses should be, I think, lights out. I don't think they're going to be good. I think they're both going to be top 5 defenses.
Okay.
So I could see at least one of those teams. I don't think both of them will, but I think one of those teams might go 11-5, 12-4.
Whoa, really?
Really. And as a homer, I'm going with my Bills. So I think Le'Veon Bell, I was talking to my buddy about this. I was wishing we'd play the Jets week 1 and week 4. Le'Veon Bell had missed the whole season. He's not going to have his legs ready to go. he's going to be a little rusty to start the season off, right? Buffalo's going to come out, Sean McDermott, Leslie Frazier. Buffalo's defense last season, second in the league. I know we were like 15th against the rush, but I think we're going to come out and win that game.
Okay.
I agree with you. The Giants, the Bengals, especially AJ Green out, we're going to win those games. That means we have New England, and we're 3-0, and we're at home.
Yeah.
Might surprise some people. I'm just saying. I'll say it here. You heard it here first, Louie. I think the upset's in. We start the season 4-0.
Oh my God! You're telling me you're gonna start the season off 4-0.
We're gonna start the season off 4-0.
And then you're gonna go to Tennessee, and you're gonna win that game too.
It's a tough stretch at the end of the season. I'll say that. That's for sure. But I think between the Bills or the Jets, watch out. I think one of those teams is going to finish 11-5, possibly even 12-4.
Wow. Yeah, that's a hell of a statement there, Joey, because I can't see the Bills. It's not inconceivable to go to the Meadowlands and beat the Jets in week one. I don't see it happening. As you mentioned, their defense is going to be top 10. I don't know if it's going to be top 5, but I agree with you. It's going to be top 10 with Greg Williams pulling the strings there. But that defense against a revamped Bills offense that I think is going to take some time to kind of hit the ground and really get going. I think that's going to be a tough spot in week one. While I hear you on Le'Veon Bell being in his first NFL game in over a year, I think he'll be just fine. The Giants, I think you're going to win that game. I think you're going to beat Cincinnati, as I mentioned already. Let's take a look at the Bills' schedule since he brought this up. And
I wanted to let you know, you talk about this in your video, those 3 games are all in Buffalo. Okay. We don't play in London. We did enough in Canada that we don't need to play anywhere else for a long time. Good.
I'm glad. So that's a big stretch there.
Yes.
Off the bye week, 3 straight home games in an environment that's tough to win in. I could see you winning all 3 of those games. Got you winning all 3 of those games, as a matter of fact. And I think at 5-3, I'm going to tell you where I really think your season has a chance to be make or break. Those 3 games at home obviously are big because anytime you get 3 straight at home, you got to try to take care of business there. But at home versus Denver, after going on the road for 2 versus Cleveland and Miami, at home versus Denver, I had you losing that game. If you win that game, I think you've got a legitimate shot of trying to vie for a postseason spot there. I don't see you beating Dallas on Thanksgiving. Do you have you guys winning that game?
I have us going 1-1 in that 2-game stretch.
Okay, so one of those teams.
I was going 1-1 in that 2-game stretch.
Yeah.
If we lose to Denver, I think we'll beat Dallas. Because we know Zeke will be suspended by that time because he's over in Gabo now just getting ready to be suspended for something he's doing right now. So.
Unbelievable. My man Joey Sharp has the Buffalo Bills or the Jets going 11-5, 12-4. So, first of all, there's no way someone's going 12-4 not named New England in this division. No way. It's not happening. In order to do that, you would have to at least beat the Patriots once.
One time.
And someone else would have to beat the Patriots yet again.
Okay. Yep. And so I actually have and you're cutting out, so I'm sorry if I interrupted you there. But I actually have the Jets in reverse. I actually have us losing to the Jets the last week of the season because we always split against the Jets for some stupid reason. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We always split. But 2 years ago, we swept Miami. Last year, we were a Charles Clay drop away from sweeping Miami. So I have it sweeping Miami this season because I think Miami's going to be awful this year.
I do too. I don't think they're going to be very good.
So and you talk about like the Tennessee games. The Tennessee game, I don't even know who's going to be the starting quarterback by the Tennessee game. They might put Ryan Tannehill in.
No way. Mario, as long as he's not hurt, which we know he's prone to injury, but as long as he's not hurt, he'll be in there week 5.
Right, yeah, but Derrick Henry's just an animal within himself, so you have to be prepared for that.
He's nursing an injury right now,
I don't like Adam Gase as much as other. I know Jets fans have to be eye on him. But if you had told me in 2010 that the QB coach for Tim Tebow was going to be an NFL coach someday and head coach, I would be like, not a chance in the world. I mean, come on. He was the quarterback coach for John Kitna, who in 2007, end of his career, John Kitna already knew what he was doing, and that Peyton Manning fella, he was pretty good. And then Tim Tebow, he couldn't coach up Tim Tebow, but I don't know if anyone could have coached up
I hear you, man. But whoo, that is.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first. You can
definitely heard it
when
here
the Bills
first.
finished 12-4, your guy got right.
4.
Again.
So what? So let me before you go.
Sure.
What do you have the Patriots finishing? If the Bills are finishing 12-4, what are the Patriots finishing?
And I haven't come out with my predictions just yet.
Okay.
But I would say that we could both be 12-4. Maybe the Patriots finish 13-3. If the Bills win the division, I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked at all.
Okay. Wow. All right. Joey Sharp, you heard it here first. Bills or Jets, 11-4, 12-5, or excuse me, 11-5, 12-4 this season. One of those two teams will be 11-5 or 12-4. Amen. I guess I cannot see it happening, but hey, man, I appreciate you calling in, man.
Hey, man, always good talking to you. Take care.
Likewise. Wow. So that's crazy. That's a hell of a way to start with a bang there with my man Joey Sharp calling in and telling me that his Bills are going to go. And again, take it with a grain of salt. He's a Bills fan. He already said, look, I'm a homer. So he gave out the disclaimer. Got another call coming in. 12-4, 11-5 for the Bills and the Jets. You're right. You're on live with Louie T. Who am I speaking with?
This is B.E.
What's going on, B.E.?
Before I go into the AFC East, if not number one, where are the Cardinals on your top 5 flip scoopers?
They were just outside the top 5, man. They were number 6.
Over the Jags and the Jets over the Cardinals?
Yes. Absolutely. We'll get into that tomorrow. The NFC West is tomorrow. We'll get into that. We got all the time in the world to talk about that tomorrow.
No, but with this division, I don't know. Like, I want to say, every time I say, or not just me, but people are like, Tom Brady's time is coming. Tom Brady's time is coming. It's always something. He always proves everybody wrong. But this year it's going to be interesting. I do see the Patriots winning the division, as much as I hate to say it.
Right.
I do see them winning the division.
Who?
But
okay.
I would not be surprised if one of the other teams, not the Dolphins, because that's a different story for a different day, if the Jets or the Bills give them a run for their money. Because both teams got better. With the Bills, if Josh Allen could make that second-year leap and not have a second-year slump or a second-year downgrade or slump, or I forgot what it was called.
Sophomore slump.
John Smokey Brown, who used to be on the Cardinals, gets back to, I want to say it was 2015 when he went over, I think, close to 1,100 yards and I think double-digit touchdowns. Gets back to his old ways. I could see the Bills pushing the Patriots for the division. With the Jets, people are going to say, Le'Veon Bell was the best signing the Jets did. I beg to differ. I think the best 1-2 signing the Jets did this offseason was Greg Williams for their defensive coordinator and signing C.J. Mosley.
Yep.
The Jets now have that leader up front in C.J. Mosley, and they have that leader in the back in Jamal Adams.
Yep.
This year is going to be interesting for the Bills and the Jets because both QBs are now entering their second year. I honestly think one of them could challenge the Patriots for the division. The Dolphins, it's just already, just give them the number 1 pick already. Apparently, reports are out there that Rosen does not even know how to identify a Mike linebacker, that he's never been asked to do that. If that's the case, then there's more issues with him than we all thought. And then trading him for a second-round pick, and I think we got a 5th, was the best choice we did.
Yeah.
Get rid of Josh Rosen.
It's going to be, here's the thing with Rosen. He's not going to beat out Ryan Fitzpatrick. And we've already heard reports that Brian Flores said, look, Ryan Fitzpatrick is light years ahead of him. That's to be expected. Fitzpatrick is going to start for his 8th NFL team. I think that's a record. 8 NFL squad he's going to start for.
I think Josh McCown might beat him. I think he was on, I want to say, 10.
Did he start for all 10 of those teams, though?
I think he did. At
Yikes.
least one game.
I wouldn't put it past Josh
McCown.
McCown. I wouldn't put it past him, but 8 teams is insane, and I could definitely see him having that offense down pat and outperforming Josh Rosen, who's probably a deer in headlights right now in the NFL with another offensive coordinator, another system, new terminology. He just got there not too long ago. Excuse me. I don't expect him to challenge for the starting role, but I think what he has to work on is just getting acclimated to what they're going to ask him to do there and getting situated in a system that may not fit him the best necessarily, but he's going to have to adjust, and the Dolphins are in a really intriguing spot because I don't think they're going to be very good, as most of us feel, that way. But here's the thing. You need to find out what Josh Rosen is. I don't know if you want to make a definitive statement on him. Let's say he plays in the final 6 games of the season and he looks okay, but he's not bad. He's not terrible, but he's not great. Is that enough of a signal to say, all right, we're going to pass on quarterback in the first round of the following year's draft? Or, do you say, you know what? We don't have time to wait on Josh Rosen. Do we pull the trigger and draft a quarterback? So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Dolphins and with that team. A lot of people, you're the second caller in a row that said you think the Bills and or the Jets can compete with the Patriots in this division. I don't think that's far-fetched. I don't think either one of those teams are going to unseat the Patriots in this division, but with the way that they can play defense. And my biggest gripe with Buffalo is last year, and I know they drafted Ed Oliver, but my biggest gripe with them is that they were gashed on the ground at times last year. I remember the New Orleans game last year up in Buffalo where they gave up damn near 300 yards rushing in that football game. That scares me. I don't know if they're going to be better at stopping the run this season or not. But if they are, they could be a team defensively that could be a team to be reckoned with. I know the Jets are going to be a dominant because I believe in Greg Williams that much. I talked about that on my podcast. So the question then becomes, who steps up offensively for these teams enough? And again, like you mentioned, second-year quarterbacks. Which one of these teams takes that quantum leap offensively with a second-year quarterback will be the way we'll figure out who is actually going to compete with New England in this division. So give me your records. If you don't have records, give me where you think these teams will finish in this division before I let you go.
It's going to be Patriots 1. I want to, just because I feel more comfortable with the Jets defensively, I want to put Jets 2, Bills 3, and Dolphins 4.
That's exactly the way I have
would
it.
not be surprised if the Dolphins win 2 games, though.
Just off the strength of Fitty alone, they're going to win at least 4 games. If he starts 10 games, they're going to win at least 4 of them because that's what he does. He's going to have them in games. He's going to throw them out of some games. He's going to throw them in some games. They're going to win at least 4 off the strength of Fitty just being on the field. So
maybe
we'll see. I don't see them dropping 14 games this year. I don't think they're that bad. So in any event, ABE, man, appreciate you calling in.
bad.
They are bad. I don't think they're that bad. I don't think they're 2-14 bad, but we'll see. Time will tell. Appreciate you calling in. I know I'll hear from you tomorrow for sure. Hey, man, have a good one.
You too.
Appreciate it. So, let's get to the comment section. Let me check Twitter first. Even though I don't think I have anything there. All right, got a call. Gonna go ahead and take it. You're on live with your man Louie T. Who am I speaking with? Hello? Hello? Guess he wasn't there. All right, so nothing on Twitter. Let's get to your comments. All right, got a call. Gonna take it. You're on live with your man Louie T. Who am I speaking with?
You are speaking with JCamman99.
What's going on, JCam, man?
Not much. I heard the first call, so I had to call in and spill some reality. I love Joe Sharp's enthusiasm, but I got to bring it back to reality for the Bills.
Thank you. Please do.
Okay, so here's the records I have for each team. I got Patriots 13 and 3.
I'm about to say, whoa, 3 or 13. We got to have a discussion.
No. Yeah, I quickly changed that. I have the Jets actually coming in second at 6 and 10.
Okay.
And I have the Bills and Dolphins actually tying at 5 and 11.
Whoa, okay.
In terms of their wins, it's probably just easier if I tell you what teams wins. For the Bills, I have them splitting with the Jets and Dolphins, so they each win one time.
Okay.
I have the opposite of what you have. I have them winning the first outing, but losing Week 17 against the Jets.
Okay.
And then the three other games they win are Bengals, Redskins, and Broncos.
Okay.
And that's it. With regard to the Giants, they have a horrible history against Manning. They've lost to Manning every single time. It's just, and even when Manning's teams weren't good, we still found a way to blow it.
Yeah.
So I have trouble seeing us win that game. And then the Ravens one, honestly, I could see that as a win. The problem is, I still remember last year that horrible domination of 47-3.
Yeah. But that was Nathan Peterman. You can't count that.
Yeah, so I mean that one's hard to get past. To think, okay, so we're gonna lose by 44, but win the following year. That type of thing.
I understand. And in fairness, the Giants, I understand the Eli Manning angle, but you do realize he probably won't have anyone to throw the football to in week 2.
Oh, I know. I couldn't, they lost 2 receivers on the first day of practice or whatever with Shepard and Coleman was good too.
And Golden Tate,
but yeah, I
right
saw
now
that,
is
and I'm
suspended.
like, wow, okay, this really helps. And you know the irony is I'm actually going to be in New York that weekend. I'm not going to the game, but I'm tempted to because part of me really wants to see if they could pull it off.
You got a shot, man. I really think.
But you know, I mean, there's other factors too, in terms of the Manning thing. We've actually never beaten Dalton either, but I am calling that as a win only because it's a late season opener this year, waiting all the way to week 3 for us to have a game in Buffalo.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking there'll just be a little overamped crowd.
Right.
It's going to be like a week 1 atmosphere during a week 3, and I think that'll push us over.
Okay, makes sense.
On the edge for the Bengals. But
so you see the second place team in this division going 6 and 10. That's the best anyone can do outside of New England.
Yeah, I went through every single matchup. I don't have it in front of me. I just have the AFC East memorized.
Yeah.
And I went through every matchup and just looking at who they're playing all year, I just have trouble seeing them beating a lot of the teams. We're playing the NFC East and the AFC North, and there's just a lot of teams in both divisions I don't see us matching up well against. I mean, the Browns are an up-and-coming team. The Ravens are still – I still think they're good, and I still think the Steelers are good.
Mm-hmm.
I would not see – the Steelers did not make the playoffs last year, but the Ravens did, right?
Correct.
So, but either way, they're both doing well.
Right.
I don't expect both teams to suddenly drop.
Mm-hmm.
And as for the NFC East, same thing. I think the Cowboys are going to be good. The Eagles still have Wentz.
Yeah.
Giants, again, I go with the history. And then the Redskins are really the only team I feel like – I'm sorry. But I do feel like the only team that they do have
hey, look,
really
don't apologize, man. Don't apologize. I understand. I totally get it. Okay, so you've got the Patriots at 13 and 3. What are they going to sweep the division? at 13-3?
No, I have the same thing as you do with regard to the Miami and Florida. That seems to be their one weakness.
Okay.
Beating Miami in Florida. And if you actually look at their Week 2 records, I mean, not recently, but if you look at the Brady history and you look at the Week 2 games, like that's probably their weakest week.
Yeah.
Like if they're going to blow a perfect season, it's usually Week 2.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's at Miami during Week 2, it's like, okay, I'm
perfect
penciling
storm.
that as their loss, and then they'll probably do good for the rest of the year. And I think I have them losing to the Giants and the Chiefs. I think those were my 3 losses.
Gotcha. Okay. So you've got them 5-1 in the division, and then you've got the Jets at 6-10, and both the Bills and Dolphins at 5-11.
Yep.
All right. Okay, J-Cam, man, bringing a little bit of humble pie to my man Joey Sharp's 11-5 or 12-4 for either the Jets or the Bills, man. I appreciate you chiming in. That sounds more like something that's realistic than what Joey Sharp was talking about, but we'll see. I
will say one positive thing before I go. The last time I predicted 5-11 was 2 years ago when the Bills made the playoffs.
Yeah.
They were expected to be horrible that year. The same thing with the Jets. So this could be one of those crazy seasons where nothing goes the way anybody expects it to, which does happen quite often in the NFL.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is an exercise in futility because generally we don't know who's going to be good and who's not going to be good. So
exactly. But I mean, I think if the Bills go 12-4 and the Patriots go 13-3, everybody who's listening to this needs to send Joe Sharp some money.
Yeah.
Of some kind.
I think
he earns it.
He deserves prediction. Yeah, he deserves that if that happens for sure. Hey, J-Cam, man, I appreciate you chiming in, man. You have a good one.
Yeah, you too, man.
Take care. All right, so that sounds a little bit more realistic to me than what my brother Joey Sharp was talking about earlier. But again, the NFL is weird, man, and crazy things happen. So we'll see. But let's get to some comments. Sean Mack, my man Sean Mack, says, "You, my dear friend, are seeing pink elephants with all that cracked you're on. If you think the Jets are beating my Browns, this isn't homerism. This time we are just better. I don't think you're going to win that football game, and I don't care what you say." Got a phone call. Gonna go ahead and take it. You are on live with your man Louie T. Who am I speaking with?
Man, what's good, Lou? Your boy Protect Sports, man. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, Tones?
Hey. Man, taking things one day at a time, big brother. That's it, man.
I hear that, bro.
One day at a time, bro.
Good to hear from you, man.
Well, first off, before I talk about any football, man, let me thank everyone for sending my condolences to my mom a couple months ago. I appreciate all you guys on the Lab Room fan, man. Much love, man. I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. That meant a lot, bro. I ain't gonna cap to y'all. It meant a lot. Thank y'all very much, man.
Hey, no doubt, man.
If I start any football talk, I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
We saw a brother in distress, man, and all we wanted to do was make sure we sent some love, man. So I'm glad you received it, and like you said, one day at a time. But I'm glad to hear your voice, man, and I'm glad to hear you moving on a little bit, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
No doubt, no doubt.
Let's get to this football, baby.
Yes, sir. Bart Scott. Can't wait.
Can't wait, baby. Can't wait. Woo! All right. Well, first off, before I talk about any AFC football, hey, Joe Sharp, what kind of drugs are you on, bro? I didn't know what you on, bro. I can get on it.
Hey.
Because you have lost your mind. Woo!
Hey, Joey Sharp is good people's, and he said, look.
I love him, man. He is good people.
He's good people. He said, look, I'm a homer. So he gave us the disclaimer. So
yeah, he does give a disclaimer.
He gave us a disclaimer, so it's all good. It's all love.
All love. Well, I'm gonna give you my predictions for the AFC East. Also, I just did an AFC East prediction today on my blog, so you guys can go check that out. Go check it out, man. ProtectSports428.webby.com. Really deep in depth breakdown of the division. I didn't give records and all that. That will come my last stream on my own channel. So you guys go check that out. I'll do that Saturday.
Okay.
So you guys want to go check that out? That'd be cool too. But I will tell you this: the Patriots ain't going no damn 13-3, but they will win this division. I got them win 11 games.
Okay.
Behind them, I got the Jets at 8-8.
Okay.
Just missing the playoffs. One of those fringe playoff teams that just couldn't get in.
Yep.
That 7th seed right there. Like, we almost in. Get me in. Couldn't get in. Sorry, bro. Can't make it to the party. Get out.
Yeah.
The Bills got them at 6-10.
Okay.
I like what they've done this offseason, but I just don't trust Josh Allen as a passer yet, and he has to show me. He got to show me. And finally, I got the Dolphins at 4-12. Like you said, 50-50 will get you 4 wins.
Yeah.
Josh Rosen will give you a damn thing.
Okay.
4-12.
Understood.
One bold prediction
Understood.
for every single team, because I've heard some points some people made about offense, and especially about the Bills and Jets offenses being kind of anemic last year, but they bring in some new players to get their offense a little steam and a little momentum going into this season. I'm going to give you one prediction for each and every team in the division with one offensive player.
Okay.
But the Patriots, I really think that Kill Harry's going to have a huge season. Let me say he's going to have 1,000 yards this year. He'll play all 16 games. He'll play well. He'll give rapport with Brady. I think he'll have 1,000 yards this year. I think for the Jets, I got 3 1,000-yard players on their team. Give me Bell, of course. He'll have 1,000 scrim yards. He's Le'Veon Bell, of course. Give me Robbie Anderson. And give me Jamison Crowder, former Redskins. We all know we love J.C. Ice. That's our guy. I really think he's going to stay healthy. He's going to play 16 games. I think him and Sam Darnold will build a rapport together. I think he'll be a safety blanket on third down. As you know, as Redskins fans, we've seen Jamison Crowder do that time and time again in a Redskins uniform. I think that will translate to New York, and he'll ball. I think the boys going to ball, man. He'll go out there, give you 60, 70, 75 catches, right around that 1,000-yard mark, maybe 3 or 4 touchdowns, something like that.
Yeah.
He's going to ball out. He'll be the reason why that offense stays alive on third down. Honest to God truth.
Okay.
Him and Le'Veon, of course. I think that John Brown's going to have a little renaissance in Buffalo. He'll have a 1,000-yard season. And I think LaShawn McCoy will not be there before the end of the season, which is another reason why I don't have the Bills winning more than 6 games. And then finally, for the Dolphins, I think their offense will be anemic outside Kenny Stills and King Drake. So that's how I look at this division, especially offensively. But that Jets defense, Jesus Christ, that Jets defense might get them in the playoffs. That Jets defense alone might get them in. But any more questions for me, Lou?
Hey, no, I mean, you pretty much, any questions I would have had, you answered them. You gave me records for each team. You gave me some standouts and what you think is going to take place. I think you're spot on with the Jets. I got them rated at 7-9, 8-8 range. I waffled back and forth on a game or two, which would have put them at 8-8. I think the defense is going to be ridiculously good, and I'm a huge Greg Williams fan. So
that defense is going to be ridiculous.
I think so too. I like what they have on each level. You know, with Jamal Adams at safety, now they got C.J. Mosley at linebacker, and the Williams boys on the line, and they might actually have a pass rush this year. You know, getting Ja'Kai Polite in the draft, and I agree. Yeah, I think they could have something, man. So I'm anxious to see what they look like.
I'm not sold on Sam Darnold yet. If I was more sold on Sam, I would have him be my 6th seed in the AFC.
Yeah, I'm not a Sam Darnold guy either. But I'm anxious to see if Le'Veon Bell takes a lot of the pressure off of him and allows him to play a little bit more loose and free. So we'll see. Well, hey, man, Tones, appreciate you calling in, man. It's good to hear your voice, bro. It really is.
Yeah, you too, bro.
Take care.
Take it easy. You too, bro.
All right, so Sean Mack says, I'm on too much cook crack if I think the Browns are going to lose to the Jets. I think you're going to lose to the Jets. I think that defense, Greg Williams is going to have these boys playing like caged animals. And they're going to open up that cage in week 2. They're going to want to get it for him, as I mentioned already. And it's on primetime television. They're going to be gassed up, and they're going to see red when they see Baker Mayfield in that Browns offense. Sean Mack says, nothing but love to you and the family. I hope you enjoyed the vacation with your girl and the kids as well. I did, man. Had a great time. It's a lot of fun. Got another call. Going to go ahead and take it. You are live with your man, Louie T. Who am I speaking with?
It's your boy, Nick. What's good, Lou?
Nick at night. What's good with you, bro?
Not much, bro. Just got out of work a little bit a while ago, so I had to come chop it up with you.
Hey, that's what's up, man. What you see going on in this division?
Obviously, I think the Patriots are gonna win the division again. I got them going 12 before.
Okay.
Like, I think the Jets gonna be real good because their defense is nasty. They got player talent all over the damn place on the defensive side of the ball.
Yep.
I like it. Like last caller said, I don't even remember who it was. My ass is out of it right now. But I feel like I don't like Sam Darnold too much either, or else I would have them going a little bit better. But I got them going 8-8. I got the Bills going 6-10, and I got the Dolphins going 4-12.
Okay. I can see that. A lot of 6-10 for the Bills, and y'all think the Bills are gonna take a step back?
The Bills, I think I don't really care for the receiving core too much.
I mean, I get that. They did add Cole Beasley in the
Yeah,
offseason.
Cole Beasley straight. He's a good slot guy, but they don't really have like a legit number one guy.
No, I don't know if they do.
Like,
They added John Brown. They added Cole Beasley.
He got his speed, but like I don't think I feel like at best he's like a 2 or a 3 as well. Like, and then Zay Jones. I don't even think Zay Jones is anything. I don't like Zay Jones.
Zay Jones isn't what they thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
But they really like Robert Foster, who had a monster year for them last year. They got some stuff. It'll be interesting. They drafted Dawson Knox out of Ole Miss, who I love at the tight end position. I think they got some stuff, man. They really got some stuff. So it'll be
Shout
interesting.
out to that man Frank Gore for still playing. Oh, this dude crazy as shit.
Old man Frank, hanging on, man.
I don't know how he still be going.
Can't kill him. I love it.
That man crazy.
And they drafted another player that I absolutely love out of Florida Atlantic, and Devin Singletary. So I'm not saying. I'm just saying they got some stuff on offense.
Their corners are pretty solid, though. Tre'Davious White is pretty nice. I like Tre'Davious White.
I was somewhat wrong about him. I didn't
He's
think
pretty
he was,
good.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to be as good as he was.
I didn't
this
think he was
soon.
going to be that good either.
So, their defense is solid, but a lot of people aren't sold on Josh Allen, and I get it. I
actually think like the best receiving core in the division might be the damn Jets.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be a division that is won by the Patriots, but I think this is going to be a more competitive division than people think.
Yeah, I think it will be better than recent years, but I still think it's the worst division in the NFL. This division is trash.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that every other division has at least 2 teams that you think can be somewhat good.
Yeah, some of them won't even have like 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is the only one where you look at it and say, nah, well, there's only one team, most likely. So I get it, but all right. Appreciate you calling in, man.
No problem, bro. Be easy.
Definitely. Take care.
Peace.
All right, so another, as we expect, Patriots win the division. Bills 6-10 seems to be the theme outside of my man Joey Sharp. J. Cam, man, who is a Bills fan himself, said 5-11 for the Bills, which is a step back from 6-10 last year. I think the Bills are actually a better team this year than they were last. So hard for me to envision them taking a step backwards. And actually, I am a Josh Allen fan, so we'll see what happens there. Excuse me. Let's get to some more comments. Oh, got another caller. I'm going to take it. You're on live with your man, Louie T. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, it's Sean Mack.
What's going on, Sean Mack, man?
How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing wonderful, man. Good to hear from you, bro.
Yeah, first time calling in.
Yeah, it is. Definitely. I'm shocked, actually.
Yeah, it's crazy to us couple weeks.
It's always a crazy couple weeks when we're talking about you, bro. Always.
Thanks, I think. All right, so here we go.
Talk to me about this division.
I think this is going to be an injury bug-ridden division. I like the Bills, but I think them and the Jets are going to get hit with injuries a lot. So I have the Bills going 4-12.
Okay.
Dolphins 2-14. You can't trust Fitzpatrick for more than like 5 games. You just can't do it.
Wow.
Let me flip the page here. I got the Patriots going 15-1.
What?
I have their only loss December 8th against Kansas City.
Wow. No way.
And then,
no way. They're going to lose a game. They're going to lose at least one game in the division.
No. I just think I feel like the Jets and Bills will be snake bitten. When I look at their depth chart, they lack depth in most places, and I just got a feeling something bad is going to happen. And then I have the Jets being 6-10.
Okay. So let me get this straight. Patriots 15-1.
Yep.
6-0 in the division. You've got the Jets going 6-10.
Yep.
Bills going 4-12.
Yep, which sucks because I really like them.
And the Dolphins going 2-14.
Yep.
Ouch. So you
Dolphins
really think
suck.
this division is trash? Super trash.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That pretty much sums it up. I mean, 15-1. I can't see the Patriots being that dominant this year. I think they're going to be good, like always, with Brady and Belichick. But 15-1, I just can't see that happening. Wow. There's no way. I thought the Bills were terrible last year. Even then, they had injuries last year, and I thought they were going to be terrible last year. I think I made them 3-13 last year. There's no way that this Bills team is worse than last year's Bills team. No way.
They're not worse than last year's team.
You just think the injuries are going to get them.
With talent. But them and the Jets, I got a really bad feeling they're going to get hit
With
with
injuries.
the injury bug. And
Okay.
I got the same feeling with Dallas. I got the feeling the Cowgirls will get hit with the injury bug really bad this year.
Injuries will decimate your football team and reduce you to next to nothing. I've seen it with my Redskins the last 3 years or so. So I know what injuries can do. I hope that's not the case. But we'll see.
And for the record, I do have the Patriots beating my Browns.
Well,
In fact, I got my Browns getting their ass beat by Patriots.
obviously, with them going 15-1 and only losing to the Chiefs, you thought they were going to win. I didn't know if you thought they were going to get blown out or not, but I think they're going to handle your Browns in that game as well. I can't wait till we get to your division and to hear what you got to say about your Browns. That's going to be so much fun. But
Oh yeah. I'll be admitting I was wrong about Baker.
We'll talk about all of that when we get there. We'll talk about all of that. But hey, man, Sean Mack, hey, that was fun, man. I was shocked to hear your voice, man, but it's good to hear your voice, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey,
Love
looking
you,
forward to
family,
chopping it up
and
with you,
everybody.
man. You take care of yourself.
All right,
And
bye.
no falling off of roofs or any of that stuff, man.
Through the roof.
Exactly. None of that. Hey,
right,
you take
thanks,
care, man. All right. So back to the comment section we go. And Sean Mack says, Joey Sharp was the very first person to go perfect in winners and losers last season. So maybe he does know something. We will see. Nick Riley says, Bell always could have been grinding and working out all year long, ready to hit the field running. I think that's going to be the case. That's why I think he's going to be ready week 1. I think he's in tremendous shape. He's going to get a couple of, carries and a little bit of a run in the preseason to get his legs under him. I think he'll be fine. Buffalo pregame says, nope, sorry, man. I live in reality. 5-11 Bills record. That's pretty much what my man J Cam Man was saying. Buffalo pregame also says, for the Bills to go 12-4, Brady has to get hurt and Belichick needs to break a leg too. Sean Mack says, bro, how did Joey get a hold of your cook crack stash? LOL. Nick, I got to read that comment after I take this call, but I got a call. I'm going to take it. Oh, caller must have hung up. Nick says, BE always got to bring up the Cardinals no matter what. So true. It is so true. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. He's definitely going to bring up his Cardinals. I love it, though, man. It wouldn't be BE if it wasn't about the Arizona Cardinals. Straight up. Got a call. I'm going to go ahead and take it. You're on live with your man, Louie T. Who am I speaking with?
What's up, Lou? This your boy Jay. How are you?
What's going on, Jay?
I'm okay. Just coming to get my little input.
All right.
So I feel like with this division, it's like watching my favorite episode. Even though I done seen it 100 times, I still watch because I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. And let me say this, bro. Y'all got to get off my Miami Dolphins, man. I know we kind of like that little nerdy high school kid that everybody pick on, that walk around with the big glasses, and they real skinny, and they wear the big backpacks. And, you know, it's fun to pick on us right now, but I don't think we're going to be as bad as everybody's predicting us.
Right.
Bro.
I don't either. I mean, I think 5-11 is as bad as it's going to get. My man Sean Mack had you going 2-14. I don't see that happening. There's no way you're just going to win 2 games. But I think your analogy is spot on. I mean, this is definitely a movie we've seen before, and we still watch it over and over and over again. Let me ask you this, since you're a Dolphins fan, because I know a lot of fans that I talked to prior to the trade for Rosen were all in on trying to draft a quarterback next year in next year's draft. Where do you stand right now on the quarterback position in Miami? Is that a position that you're looking at potentially trying to draft next year, or do you still want to see Josh Rosen potentially develop and go elsewhere in the draft?
Well, I want Josh Rosen to sit and wait. You know, our first 4 games is a horror movie. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with Freddie, Jason. I mean, we got a tough stretch. We playing the heavyweights. I think we play Baltimore.
Yep.
We play New England. We play Dallas. We play the Chargers. You're talking about 4 playoff teams right then and there. And you're talking about the Baltimore Ravens was the best defense in the league last year. The Dallas Cowboys, they're a great defense.
Yep.
The Chargers, we know they got playmakers on the defensive side of the ball.
Yep.
I don't know if I want Josh Rosen to come in with that type of heat in the first 4 games.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep. After the bye week, though, you got the Redskins, the Bills, and the
And it get a little easier. So I'm thinking after the bye week, ease Josh Rosen. And I want to ask you a question about the Josh Rosen and Brian Flores. A little situation that happened in Miami. I went to every Miami Dolphins training camp practice last week, right?
Yep.
And so I want your opinion because I know you're a football guy.
Yep.
Josh Rosen threw an interception.
Mm-hmm.
And as Josh Rosen began to walk off the field with his head down, Brian Flores screamed at him and told him to pick your damn head up. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it was loud, Lou. And to me, you got a young quarterback that's already struggling. His confidence is already down. In my opinion, I don't feel like Brian Flores should have been as hard on Josh Rosen as he was. Mm-hmm. And he did it in front of everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was loud. I wonder how you feel about that. Do you feel like – and then he came in the media today and say, well, Ryan Fitzpatrick
is light. Yeah.
It's light hill. He's miles,
ahead of
done what Rosen is right now.
Right.
Do you feel like he should be that hard on Josh Rosen? Do you feel like Josh Rosen confidence can be even destroyed even worse?
Yeah, so this is the thing, and I've said this about coaching. Coaching is 20% X's and O's and 80% being able to manage personalities. And as a head coach, what you have to figure out is how you can talk to each and every single player. And that's what separates the coaches in this league. He came from an outfit in New England where I don't think Belichick treats anybody any different. He coaches everybody the same. And that's what he knows. So he's bringing that same mentality to Miami, and that's not necessarily going to work. What he has to understand is that Rosen is a fragile dude. He's one of those guys that, and this is any young player, not just Josh Rosen, especially at the quarterback position. They need confidence. You go from being a big man on campus, first round pick, to, there were, 9 teams that made mistakes ahead of me, to being traded after an abysmal rookie season where you had coaching offensive coordinator switch in the middle of the season and one of the worst offenses we've seen in recent years. And so he's a guy right now in a fragile mental state. So to put him on blast like that in front of everybody, not the right thing to do. I agree with you. I think that you have to understand who you're talking to and who you're dealing with. And in that case, you already see his head's down. That's when you either send one of your assistants, the quarterback coach, OC, or you go over there yourself and you say, hey, look, man, mistakes are going to happen. All right. We out here trying to get better. Pick your head up. Get back out there. And we going to make some plays, man. You need to be engaged. We need you to be the best version of yourself. And you can't do that if you're over here sulking on the sidelines. So that's what you do to a guy like that when you see that they're already down on themselves. You don't scream at them from across the field so that everybody can hear, embarrassing them. So, and like I said, you got to look at where Brian Flores came from. He came from New England, where it's no nonsense. We're not catering to anybody's personality. It's vanilla. Everyone gets treated the same way. Brady gets treated just like the 53rd guy on the roster. And so I think he saw that, and he didn't have time to coddle anybody. That's the way he's approaching it. Either he's going to get on or he's going to get left. And again, sometimes that works. That mentality works. A lot of times, though, it doesn't, especially with young players. That works with veterans. You know what I mean? They've been in the league. They've established themselves. They understand, what is expected of them. So you can come in. And I've always said, in order to turn around a program, it's easier to come in and crack the whip. Come in, slam the hammer down, and then ease up. If you come in loosey-goosey, soft, being a player's coach, then guys, they take advantage of that. So I understand him on one end wanting to come in and be tough, but at the same time, you're dealing with a young, fragile-minded quarterback. That's probably not the guy you want to do that with.
Exactly. That's what I thought, too. The Dolphins fans were like, well, maybe Josh Rosen needs some tough loving. If Josh Rosen is fragile because your head coach told you to lift your damn head up, when you got 300 and 250-pound linebackers and defensive tackles that's screaming in your ear, you know what I mean, taunting you and things like that, how you going to be able to handle that? And I see it in that end, too. So.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't think, excuse me, I don't think that stuff bothers him as much as, another coach doesn't believe in me type of deal. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like I said, I've seen many a good quarterback come in the NFL and be destroyed because they lacked confidence. They come in, get their head ripped off behind a bad offensive line. They start seeing ghosts, and all of a sudden they don't have confidence anymore. And last year, his offensive line was horrible. He was not protected well. His offensive coordinator was Brian Leftwich after Mike McCoy, who was horrible. And Leftwich was calling plays for the first time in his NFL career, and it just wasn't a good look for him. He struggled. He lost confidence at times, and he gets traded. He needs to have his confidence built back up, and that's just not the way to do it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, man. I'm going to give you my record prediction, and I'm going to get out of here and let the Bills come in, bro.
Yep.
I got the New England Patriots winning the division. Listen, that's no secret, or I'm not a prophet by saying that. I got the New England Patriots winning. I got the Buffalo Bills coming in second.
Okay.
I think I'm a little more higher on Josh Allen than I am Sam Darnold.
Yeah, me too.
I like what they got at the wide receiver position. I think they're going to have an elite defense. My only problem is Sean McDermott with Josh Allen. He's a young quarterback, and I really don't like defensive guys working with young quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. I don't mind a defensive guy working with a guy that is experienced, like a Phillip Rivers. I think, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Or a Big Ben or somebody like that.
Yeah.
But when you got a young quarterback that needs to be developed, like to me, that Josh Allen needs to be, I don't know if Sean McDermott is the guy to do it.
Right.
I think he's a great defensive-minded coach, but I got the Buffalo Bills going 8-8.
Okay.
I got the New York Jets going 7-9.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the Miami Dolphins going 6-10. This is my thing with the New York Jets. See, they got Adam Gase, Lou, and it's kind of like, when you break up with a girl. See, I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, so I don't watch every Adam Gase press conference. I don't watch every Miami Dolphins game. I follow all the beat writers. You know how I go when you're a diehard fan of your team.
Right.
And there's a lot of Jets fans that's telling me right now, well, listen, the Miami Dolphins didn't have a good quarterback. And I'm saying, listen, you don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
No, but the Dolphins didn't have a lot of talent. It's like that, when you break up with a girl and she goes to another guy and you try to warn the guy, listen, man, she ain't really no good, but they think that they can make her something that she's really not. I'm telling Jets fan, be careful with Adam Gates. I don't think he's a leader of men.
Yep.
I don't really like his personality.
Yep.
I think he has one of the worst body languages out of all the head coaches in the National Football League. I don't think he's a player's coach. So, but the Jets fans are pretty high on him, and I think watch out for my Dolphins, Lou.
In what way?
Hello?
In what way?
You got to understand, the Dolphins came in second 4 years in a row. The only season that the Dolphins didn't come in second in this division is when Ryan Tannehill got hurt. The Miami Dolphins came in second last year, and let's be honest, Ryan Tannehill missed 6 games. What if Ryan Tannehill didn't get hurt last year? You can't tell me a healthy Ryan Tannehill couldn't at least won us at least 2 more games. Listen, I'm not sold on Ryan Tannehill, but let's ask me, do I want Ryan Tannehill or Ryan Fitzpatrick? Ryan Tannehill or Ryan Fitzpatrick? I don't really know if we downgraded at the quarterback position, to be honest with you. Ask me, do I want Ryan Tannehill or Ryan Fitzpatrick? Is like asking me, do I want AIDS or cancer? I'm probably going to die slow on both of them. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think that we still got the same wide receivers. We still got the same run. The only person that we lost was Jawan James, and the Denver Broncos overpaid for Jawan James. We beat the New York Jets with Brock Osweiler. You mean we swept the New York Jets, and both games Brock Osweiler played. You mean to tell me that Ryan Fitzpatrick can't sweep the New York Jets? And I know the Jets got a little better, and I know the Bills got a little better. But I can easily see the Dolphins going 6-10, 7-9. I can see the Dolphins beating the Washington Redskins. Yep. No disrespect, Lou. No disrespect.
I totally can see that happening. No doubt.
I can see the Dolphins beating that's one game. I can see the Dolphins beating the Bengals. I can see the Dolphins beating the Giants. The Dolphins always win these games, and you be wondering, how in the hell did they doing this? Remember, the Dolphins started off 3-0 last year.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Dolphins have gotten that much worse, in my opinion. Only person we lost was Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
If you ask me, we probably upgraded at the quarterback position. And you can make an argument that Ryan Fitzpatrick may be the second best quarterback in the division. Now, we got to see, when it comes down to Sam Darnold and Josh Allen. But right now, if I had one game to win, and you're telling me who I want to choose, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, or Ryan Fitzpatrick, I might go with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Now, we know these guys are young, so they got a higher upside may have a higher upside than Ryan Fitzpatrick. But I just don't think the Dolphins are that much worse than the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets.
You might not be wrong in that assessment. Let me ask you this: how y'all gonna get to the quarterback?
I can't hear you breaking up, bro.
I said, let me ask you this: how y'all gonna get to the quarterback?
Well, scheme. Remember, we drafted Christian Wilkins. He's a good young defensive tackle. We still got some young guys. Our linebacker core. You know what I mean? We got young guys, but I like what I'm seeing out of what the young guys are doing in practice. I think it's more of a scheme. Let's not forget what Brian Flores did to the number 1 defense the second ranked offense in the league last year in the Super Bowl in the Rams. Mm-hmm. And I know everybody's going to give Bill Belichick all the credit, but I think he had a lot to do with it. Remember, Bill Belichick was the coach the year before that when the Eagles, Nick Foles looked like the next Joe Montana. Yeah. Joe Montana against the New England Patriots. So don't tell me that Brian Flores had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Yeah, no. I talked about that on my podcast about Flores. I talked about that when he got the Dolphins job, that he had a lot to do with the Super Bowl victory. And even Belichick admitted that himself, that Flores was instrumental in scheming up the Rams offense and putting guys like Kyle Van Noy in position to make plays. And so Flores got a lot of credit for that. There's some pieces missing in Miami, and one of them, I never liked the Charles Harris pick a couple of years ago. I didn't see the upside then. I don't see it now. I just don't know how you get to the quarterback. I think collectively as a group, you might have 9 sacks to your name.
I totally disagree with that, bro. And listen, man, you're one of the most smartest guys on YouTube when it comes down to football, but I totally disagree with that, bro.
In terms of Charles Harris?
Oh, you talking about Charles Harris having 9 sacks, or you talking about as a team we might have 9 sacks?
No, I said combined. I'm talking about the guys that you have on your roster. In the NFL, they might have 9 sacks total as edge rushers. It's that bad in Miami. Like
you got to understand our defensive coordinator. I believe that the Miami Dolphins had one of the worst defensive coordinators in the National Football League, and that's in my opinion. I think Adam Gase. I'm from Miami, bro. I go to the games. Nobody knows the Washington Redskins like the Washington Redskins fans.
Right.
You know why? You guys gonna be in a Facebook groups. You guys gonna follow the beat writers. You guys gonna you know the Redskins better than I would ever know the Redskins because you're a diehard. You're emotionally attached to the Redskins. Nobody know the Dolphins like a Dolphins fan.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And let me tell you something. Kenyon Drake put on Instagram if the Dolphins was to keep Adam Gase, he wanted to be traded.
Oh, look, you're not going. I talked about this on my podcast. Adam Gase is terrible. He's terrible. He's not, and everything you said, I said on my podcast numerous times. He's not a people person. He's not a leader of men. He's not the guy that I want to. And you added something that I didn't mention that I should have. His body language is terrible. It's terrible.
He has one of the worst mannerisms. When a team is winning, he's jumping up. He's happy. But I'm telling you, you could be sitting at home looking on your TV screen, and he'll be making all type of facial expressions. That type of energy rubs off on the players, in my opinion, Lou.
Yep, I agree.
So that's just my opinion. I'm just saying that I don't think the Dolphins are going to be a playoff team. Not now. I'm not going to get carried away. But I don't think the Dolphins are going to be as bad. I don't think the New York Jets is that much better than the Dolphins, and I don't believe the Buffalo Bills, in my opinion. This is in the Miami Dolphins that won, that came in second. They remember the Dolphins just went 10-6 like 2 years ago. The only reason why they didn't go back to me because they missed Ryan Tannehill for the whole season. Ryan Tannehill got hurt. Ryan Tannehill got hurt last year. And to me, Ryan Tannehill is not much better than Ryan Fitzpatrick at this point in their career. So I'm just saying, the Dolphins are going to if you're looking at the Miami Dolphins on your schedule, you're just saying, well, it's the Miami Dolphins. We're going to beat them. Be careful. Be careful. All right, Lou, I thank you for having me.
Hey, one more question before you go. Why did y'all fire y'all offensive line coach?
Well, he was having a hard time with implementing the scheme.
Okay.
And there is a player that we drafted, I think, in a third round, Michael Dieter.
Yeah, out of Wisconsin.
Him and Michael Dieter was going back and forth. He called Michael Dieter out. He said, and Brian Flores didn't really like that. He was behind. Lou, I'm going to sit up here and I'm going to tell you the truth, bro. The offensive line looked trash. We may have one of the worst. This is what concerns me about Josh Rosen because I don't know if he's in a better situation. I don't know that. Now, I think Laramie Thompson is one of the best young tackles in the league. So I believe he got an elite left tackle. But I don't know if the offensive line is a little better. So they got rid of their offensive line coach. But that's what was going on.
Okay. All right, man. Appreciate you, man. That was an insightful call, bro. I love it. Love it, man.
Thanks, bro.
Hey, have a good one. Oh, that was a lot of fun, man. This is why I love chopping it up with y'all because, again, as he mentioned, no one's going to know a team better than the fans that follow the team on a daily basis. You know, I follow all these teams, but I'm doing it from afar. I'm a Redskins fan at heart, obviously, but I love the entire National Football League. So I keep tabs on every team in the league, but there's only so much you can actually know. Intimate knowledge is the best knowledge, and you can only get that from a fan of a team. And so that's why those types of calls are always the best. See. Excuse me. Nick Riley says, each person handles things different. Some people like that spark when their coach is hard on them. Some people you got to lean your shoulder on and speak in a softer tone. And that's pretty much what I was alluding to. We got a call. I want to go ahead and take it. You're on live with your man, Louie T. Who am I speaking with?
It's Q-Bone.
What's up, Q-Bone?
What's up, Lou?
How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing good. I just ran into a big ass spider in my car. That was that was something. Scared the living crap out of me is what he did.
Did you get rid of him, or what'd you do?
Oh, you damn right I got rid of him. That little twerp was making a web inside my car.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you got rid of the Spider-Man.
Are you all right? Are you in? Are you choking on something?
Yeah. Yeah. That was funny. But good to hear from you, man. So what do you think is going to happen in this division?
AFC East?
AFC East.
Oh, man. Well, I'm someone who's a fan of a team outside this division.
Right.
I have no biases.
Right.
I think Miami is hot garbage.
Okay.
I do not trust Adam Gase. I love Greg Williams, but I do not trust Adam Gase. I think he is overrated.
Fair.
I don't think he should be a head coach in this league.
I agree.
And I love Greg Williams, but if that team's ever going to be good this season, it's because of him.
Yep, I agree with that too.
And really, just for me, comes down to the Bills and the Patriots.
Okay.
And there's, you know me, man. I love making those crazy bold predictions.
All right, lay it on me.
I really want to say the Bills. They're on the tip of my tongue.
No, they're not.
But New England, man, that team is so ridiculous, especially in that division. They always seem to win that division.
Yep. They're gonna do it again.
And if I had to put money on which of those two teams is going to win it, I would pick New England. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't be surprised if Buffalo wins it. But I have them being second in the division, followed by the Jets as third, and the Dolphins fighting for the number one overall pick
in the draft. That is not surprising. A lot of people think the Dolphins are going to be horrible this year.
Rolling the tanks in Miami. Here they come. They tanking hard, I think.
It's funny because early on in the offseason, most Dolphins fans, it was tank for Tua. Tank for Tua.
They were
there you go.
Tank for Tua.
That was what you were hearing over and over and over again. I since the Rosen trade, I haven't heard it as much. And as you get closer to the season starting, no one wants to think about next year's draft. You know what I mean? Everyone wants to win now until they realize their team isn't any good, and then you start looking towards the next draft. So we'll see how long it takes for them to get back on the tank for Tua or whomever the quarterback is.
I give them 4 weeks at most, or at least 4 weeks.
Hey, like the last caller said, hey, don't sleep on the Dolphins, man.
Well, you know what? I'll give them. I'll say this. The last time that I think a team that we thought was going to be absolute garbage was not absolute garbage and was actually a fairly decent team, at least that I can think of these last couple of seasons, was Buffalo. And you know what? They surprised a couple people. They made the playoffs.
Yeah.
I remember in 2015, everyone was like, oh, the Jets are going to be so bad. Geno Smith broke his jaw. All this and that. All of a sudden, here comes Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And they went 10-6.
10-win season.
Yeah.
Didn't amount to anything, but they got a 10-win season out of that.
Yeah, you're right.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happens this year.
Yeah, and that's
Miami,
why.
Because when expectations are low for Ryan Fitzpatrick, is when he is at his best.
Hey, look, remember, he started off the season last year as Fitzmagic in Tampa. Yeah. Don't forget about that. Gold chain, he was dripping. He was dripping last year at the press conference. So let's not forget that this man, when he's on, he's dangerous. All right?
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see, man. Like the Dolphins, it's not like they're void of talent. That's why I'm trying to tell everybody. They're not good, but they're not void of talent. So they've got a shot. So I wouldn't like he said, I wouldn't count out the Dolphins. I don't see them being better than the other three teams in the division when it's all said.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But I still feel like that team's hot garbage.
And I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise. So, hey, Q-Bone, always a pleasure, man. I can't wait to hear from you tomorrow when we break down your team's division, the NFC West. That should be a ton of fun.
I'll be on the phone.
Oh, I cannot wait for that. Hey, man, you have a good one and take care, and then stay away from spiders, man. What you doing?
I'm trying to. They keep getting everywhere.
Have a good one, man.
Yeah, you too.
All right. All right, man. That was my man Q-Bone. As we continue through the comment section, and as Nick said, you know, every player is different, and that's pretty much the sentiment that I was trying to preach, is that, you know, every player is different. They're like snowflakes. They're cut from a different cloth. Some guys take well to tough coaching. Other guys wilt under that pressure. And you have to kind of find that happy medium, and you got to figure out who does well with what kind of coaching. And I think that Josh Rosen right now, he needs confidence, and so he needs somebody to build him up right now, for sure. Sean Mack says, I just got a bad feeling that Jamal Adams and Leonard Williams are going to get hurt this season, bro. That could happen. It's hard to say, especially with injuries. I never like to put that on people, but injuries are a part of the game. You know they're going to happen. You're just hoping that they don't. So, in any event, that is all the comments in the comment section. I have no more calls. There is no action on Twitter. Thus, we're going to wrap, this live feed up. It's been fun, as it always is. The first of 7 divisions, 7 more on the docket. Tomorrow we'll get to the NFC West. And so that should be tons of fun there. That division, to me, is going to be hyper competitive in 2019. So looking forward to chopping it up with you tomorrow and talking NFC West. I'm your man, Louie T. Signing off. Remember, if it's not your man T, it's not the best NFL coverage it could be. Make sure you're checking out the podcast, Louie T Network podcast, available on Stitcher, Google Music Play, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Spotify, and of course the website, louietnetwork.net. And also, make sure you subscribe to this channel, like the video, like my Facebook page, Louie T Network, and also make sure you follow me on Twitter at In the Lab Room and at LTN Pod on Twitter as well. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. A little earlier tomorrow, though. I'll be on time tomorrow. Same channel. Until next time, you guys have a good one.
Louie T Network.